So I'm Jeff Sass. I'm the Vice President of Business Development and Chief Evangelist for Myxer. And Myxer's goal is to provide mobile entertainment for the masses. We started the company 5 years ago, and when we started out, we recognized that mobile content is really hard. You know, our goal was initially to focus on the independent musician and try to find a way to make it easy for an independent artist to get their content to their fans who all had these mobile phones. And what we found out that it was really hard, because typically, unless an artist was signed with a record label, they couldn't get their content onto a mobile device. And even then, the record label would pass that content along to an aggregator. The aggregator would use a distributor to deliver that content to the carrier. The carrier then had to hire a platform company to develop a technology platform to transcode and format that content correctly for the requesting handset, and eventually that content got to the fan of that artist, and it really wasn't a very happy experience. We looked at that, and there's actually more steps to that process than there would be if it were selling a physical product in a retail store, and that's a digital product, so that shouldn't be the case. So we realized that a lot of these steps could be removed. In fact, we figured that all of these steps could be removed, and that we could create a platform where artists and musicians and content providers can deal directly with their fans. And that's really what Myxer set out to do, is to really simplify the process of distributing and accessing mobile content. So from a technical standpoint, the Myxer platform is able to ingest any digital media in its original format, images, music, video, etc. And then we recognize the requesting handset, and then we reformat the content appropriately for that handset and deliver it to the end user. And we do that across all handsets and all carriers, so we're agnostic. So today, 5 years later, Myxer is one of the top 10 mobile websites in the US, and we have a very large and active and engaged audience. We have about 35 million users, and in our catalog now we have over 3 million items: ringtones, wallpapers, videos, games, apps, music. And our mobile web page gets about 450 million page views a month. So we've seen tremendous growth, and our goal again is to make it very simple to distribute and access any type of mobile content across all devices and carriers. We've seen tremendous growth month over month and year over year. And we're at the point now where we're delivering downloads at the rate of about 1 billion downloads per year. It took us a couple of years to get to our first billion, which we hit in January. And now we're downloading about 90 million items a month. So we'll hit our second billion before the end of this year. And while we started out supporting these independent musicians, we've grown now where we represent everyone from, you know, a guy in his garage that you never heard of, to major record labels like EMI, Warner Records, Sony Music, and a lot of other media companies. And that same technical platform that worked for the little guy is being used by the big guy in the same fashion, which is great. So we've established a lot of key content partners. We have over 150,000 content providers leveraging the Myxer platform to share and sell their content to their fans. One of the things that's unique about Myxer is we believe very strongly in the ad-supported model. We have a lot of free content that's supported by advertising, and if we do sell content, it's really up to the content owner. We do it only on an a la carte basis, so there are no hidden fees or subscription charges. If you get content from Myxer, even if you buy it, you'll buy just that individual item. You won't be surprised with, you know, a $10 charge on your phone bill or any other surprises like that. That's very important to us. And so we're unique as both a very robust technology platform as well as a very popular destination for mobile entertainment. So sort of the Myxer economy built around this platform is very simple. We have our content providers who leverage Myxer, and our mobile stage product gives every content provider their own mobile web destination where they can have all their content available and other information about them. Our free first model, by having a lot of free content, that attracts users. Believe it or not, people like free stuff. So that attracts a big audience. And then, of course, that audience attracts advertisers, you know, who want to get their messaging and their branding in front of that audience. And then, of course, that advertising dollars subsidizes the content so that we can make it free to the end user. And then, of course, people, once they're at the website that they came to for free stuff, if they find things they like that's available for sale, they can also purchase it as well. So all of these things working together, sorry about the mic, create a very successful interactions for all of the constituents that work within the Myxer economy, the content providers, the end user, the advertisers, and of course Myxer. So it works well for all of us. This has been a challenge, and it wasn't so easy to get there because, as you'll hear about more in the second panel this morning, the mobile content space is extremely complicated. I think everyone knows you have many competing operating systems. You have Android, you have BlackBerry, you have Symbian, you have WebOS, you have Windows, you have iOS now, Apple's new nomenclature for their operating system. And these are all different and independent, and they don't interoperate very clearly. So there are a lot of technical and institutional boundaries for companies to get involved in the mobile content business. It becomes very challenging. As a result, it's very hard to reach the mass market, to reach across all of these platforms. And as a result, most of the content stores today, or most of the places people go for content, are operating system or platform specific. If you have an iPhone, you go to iTunes. If you have an Android, you go to the Android marketplace. BlackBerry, BlackBerry World, etc. So consumers are spread out all over the place, and it's very hard to go to one place to get all of their content for different devices. And that's what Myxer's tried to do. We've plowed through all of these barriers and tried to build a platform and a service that addresses the mass market across all of these devices and operating systems. We've learned a lot along the way. We've seen how our users behave, and we started earlier this year to publish a monthly analytics report called the Myxer Boombox Report. And you can get that report by going to boombox.myxer.com, and you can subscribe to it. We put it out each month. And we basically share findings that we've seen based on our user behavior that we think will be interesting to the market. Earlier reports have focused on Apple versus Android usage. Our last report focused on, for Mother's Day, on females versus males, and we found that actually in the Myxer community, women were downloading 2/3 of our content downloads were done by women, which was really interesting. They're very active on their phones. So you can get a lot of the information that we've learned over time by visiting boombox.myxer.com. In the end, our goal is to be the iTunes for everyone else, to be the place that anyone with any device can go for universal access to all their mobile entertainment, music, applications, personalization content. We also deeply integrate with the social web, which is becoming more and more important, so it's very easy through Myxer to share content on Facebook, on Twitter, and really spread that content, which is very important to our content providers. And in the end, this is an open platform that allows anyone, from an individual, any one of you in this room can set up a Myxer account and start sharing your content, to the largest of the media companies. It's an open platform that can be used by everyone. That really gives you a quick introduction to Myxer, and I look forward to answering your questions later on during the panel. Thank you.